Welcome back to MMA Draft. I'm Frank Trigg, and on this week's Spotlight, we have Brandon Scott Sandford. How are you, bud?
Doing all right, man. Just got back from the gym.
What did you work on today?
I just went over some pad work, little technique stuff, kicks, adding spinning back fists and stuff in with them. Just technique-oriented pad work.
Are you going back in again later today, or is it just one workout today?
Actually, I have a client to train later on this evening, so I won't be able to go back in.
Does that get in your way a lot of times, trying to make money? Does that get in the way of training, training these other clients and trying to make money to survive, get in the way of training for your fights?
It can, especially when I get more clients. I get 3, 4 clients throughout the week. I got to train each 2, 3 times a week. It can get a bit hectic trying to schedule them in between gym sessions and stuff. So yeah, at times it does.
It's got to be tough too because they can only go and train when they're out of work. And when they're out of work, that means your training partners are out of work too. So that's what the time to train is when you're training them, and it's got to go back and forth. When you get called up for a fight, do you have to go, hey, look, guys, I need to back off a little bit on training you, or do you just try to adjust your training schedule time so you keep the money flowing in?
Yeah, I adjust the training schedule. I might split it morning and evening or afternoon and then again in the evening. It just really depends on the client's schedule because, I need the money, so I just make it work.
When is your next fight going to happen? Do you know yet?
Yeah, actually, well, I don't know the exact date. It's going to be the first or second week of April. I just fought this past Saturday. I ended up winning in the 4th round by guillotine, and I'm defending my other title at MECS in April.
Oh, wow. So you're staying pretty. How many times do you think you're going to fight this year? Because you're coming pretty quick. This is January. You fought once, a 3-month break. You're fighting in April. That leaves you a lot of time to fight 1 or 2 more times at the end of this year.
Yeah. Well, if I win this next fight, it's going to be my last amateur fight. I'm fighting considerably one of the top 35ers in the state. He's actually part of the combine too, Tyler Meadows. I'm fighting him, and if I win, then I'm looking to take a pro fight fall.
Is this a 5-round title fight?
Absolutely.
So, what happens if it's a really close split decision? Do you think that Meadows will make the jump to pro anyway, even though he loses?
He very well could. He's got the skill set to do so. So I wouldn't put it past him.
Now, what makes Tyler Meadows so tough? Since he's more likely to be your next opponent.
Well, he's trains under Darren Cruikshank. He fights in the UFC, so he has a good training camp around a Michigan top team. So I know he's going to be well rounded as well as I. So we both are there to fight. We both want to win. With it being our last amateur fight, we both are going for the win.
Now, an amateur, a lot of these guys, you make a little bit of money from sponsors, even though you're an amateur fighter. Does that happen? It happens a lot here in Las Vegas. Does that happen for you guys up there as well? You make a little bit of money from sponsors if you fight or when you fight?
Oh, absolutely. I make money from sponsors. I get a commission of ticket sales as well. So between that, I stand to make a decent amount of money. Some amateurs I've seen in the state make good money fighting amateur. It's just they have the right sponsors, they have the right fan base backing them. But yeah, I do make a decent amount of money.
And just so everybody at home knows, the amateur rules and regulations, it's not unified yet. So every state has its own system. California is different than Michigan, which is different than Nevada, which is different than New York. Every amateur place has different rules and setups. So in some places like Michigan, the fighters can actually make a little bit of money. Nevada the same way. You get some short sponsors, make some money, ticket sales. Even though you're an amateur fighter, you can still make a little bit of money off of what's going on. But remember, a lot of these amateur shows, I don't know about the ones you've been in, but a lot of these amateur shows throw 15 to 20 fights. So if you're getting a commission of ticket sales, it's because you're one of the 3 final fights for the night. The guys in the early card, they're not getting commissions of ticket sales. And they're not getting T-shirt sponsors. And they're not getting short sponsors. So these guys in the lower end of the card are what we think the true determination, true meaning of amateur. How long before, when you were fighting, how long was it before you started making a little bit of money, whether it was a short sponsor or a T-shirt sponsor or something, when we first started fighting?
I'd have to say after my 3rd fight, I was a real big underdog going into that fight. I was fighting one of the better fighters in the state. He was a tough 35, a real strong wrestler. And I surprised a lot of people, and I ended up beating him with an arm lock in the 3rd round. I ate a lot of elbows in that fight. But opened a lot of people's eyes, gave me a little more opportunity at an early stage in my amateur career than most people. So that's when I started, making money after that.
Well, Brandon, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us here on the spotlight for your MMA draft. I really appreciate it. And good luck against Tyler Meadows. I can't wait to see that fight happen, and I'm sure I'll definitely be talking to you after that fight goes off.
Absolutely.